Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista. It has been such a long time since I have turned this camera on to give you guys kind of an update on what's been going on around here. So much has changed. Just because it's the season we're in, things change very quickly around here, especially because we garden. It's just a lot of stuff happens. So I thought I would turn the camera on today and bring you guys along, or not bring you guys along, but just give you guys some updates. I went and picked my Azure haul up today, which kind of gives me a little bit of energy because I have to leave the house. So I filmed that for you guys, but I also wanted to include a couple of little projects that I have been doing around the house. So recently I've harvested all of my garlic, and one thing that you get before you harvest the garlic, usually at least a couple weeks before you harvest it, is you get garlic scapes. And I do not like to waste anything around here, so I decided to pickle up some garlic scapes. My daughter said that she had them before, and she's like, "Mom, can you make some pickled garlic scapes with that?" So I did a little bit of research and I found a couple of recipes online, and I did attempt to make one of them. I did film it for you guys, so I will include it in this video. The other thing that I did was I pickled up some asparagus as well. I had a little bit of that brine left over, so I decided that I was gonna pickle something else that I kind of had a lot of. Now this was at least maybe 4 weeks ago that I did this. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, that lighting's horrible. There we go. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know how good it tastes. The brine seemed like it was pretty vinegary, but we'll see. I'm trying to save them because it only made 3 half-pint jars, and because my daughter requested it, I kind of wanted to wait for her to get here before I opened it up, but I may sneak 1 jar just to taste and see how it turned out. But like I said, I'll include that little activity in this video for you guys. I also made a batch of my favorite yeasted bread. Now normally I do everything sourdough. Like, I love sourdough. It is like my favorite way to make bread, but sometimes I will make a yeasted bread if I just need something really quick. So I've included that recipe for you guys in here. This bread is amazing. It takes a couple hours to make, and it's almost just like a French bread, but it just tastes so delicious. So again, I'm going to include those in here for you today, but let's get started on that Azure haul. It is really small this month. I did not purchase a lot. Just trying to keep the budget really low right now because I honestly don't need to have a super amount of stuff. I am trying to kind of eat through my pantry right now. Show you guys kind of what we have left. This is what my pantry is looking like kind of before I start doing any major canning projects. It's looking a little empty. Well, not completely empty, but there are definitely some bare spaces here. I did not really focus a lot on doing jams because I really honestly don't need to. This is all jams up here. But yeah, definitely some empty spots. So I want to eat through that stuff because number one, I need to have canning jars available to can all of our garden goodness. Plus, we're going to be bringing in stuff really soon, and I want to make sure that I have available space on those shelves. So I have really been focusing, like hyper focused, almost like pantry challenge style, but not completely all in. Like, I'm still obviously getting stuff from Azure, and like I'm still going and picking up like bananas and stuff like that. So I'm not going completely pantry challenge, but I've really been focusing on making sure we're using that stuff up right now. So let me show you what we got from Azure this month, and then we're gonna go outside and I'm gonna show you a lot of updates. And I'm going to shoot it this way because, as I said in my last Azure video, I really like doing it this way because then I can kind of show you guys more up close with stuff. So I picked up this huge box of organic Parmesan cheese, and this is 5.21 pounds. I'm going to leave the price below for you guys so you know how much I paid, but it's a brick of Parmesan cheese. I had to put my glasses back on because I had to be able to see what I'm showing you guys. Sorry about the blur here, but Azure used to have it pre-grated in these tubs, 5-pound tubs, and I loved it. It was very comparable to, you know, like the Parmesan cheese you get in the green bottle. I think it's Kraft makes it. It was very, very comparable to that. It was like a fine grind Parmesan cheese. For some reason, Azure discontinued it. I don't know the reasoning, but I loved it and I can't get it anymore. But this month, I noticed that they had these 5-pound blocks of Parmesan cheese. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to set my food processor up, and then I'm just going to grind out all the Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to try to get it into like a nice fine grind, and then I'm just going to put it in my fridge, because honestly, for me to get this huge block out and grate it when I need it, I'm lazy. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to get this all pre-ground ahead of time. That way it's already all done. Another thing that is new to me, I've never gotten this before, and I thought I would give it a try because the kids are coming home from school for summer. So they like to have popcorn. So I thought I would get this popcorn seasoning. It's a nacho cheese. And I believe, oh, it's only 4 ounces. I think I only got 4 ounces versus the 1 pound because I wanted to experiment and see how it is. So we're going to give this one a try. And the other thing I'm stocking up on is the Pomona's pectin. I love canning with this stuff because I can do like a 0 sugar canning. It's really pretty good ingredients in it. Where's the ingredients? There we go. No, that's French. There's the ingredients. So I like using that because I can can with honey, whereas with regular pectin, I can't use honey. So picked up 3 of those because you get a discount when you get more than 1. And then I got a pound of these cocoa butter wafers. That's what they look like. I love having those wafers in my tea in the morning. So I put them into a little jar like this. Just put it in my tea shelf, and then I make some yerba mate, which I get at Azure as well. It's just like a green leaf tea. I put one of those in with my yerba mate in the morning, and it is just so delicious. It gives it this like almost chocolatey butter taste. It's so good. So I picked up another 1 pound bag. I don't know why I only got 1 pound. For some reason I was thinking I was going to get 5. Maybe the 5 pounds was like a way over budget. So that might be why I only got 1 pound. I don't know. I opened up my box and I was like, that seems like I didn't order as much as I normally do. But anyways, this will last me a while because I only have 1 little wafer each day. So it definitely, I mean, there's quite a bit in here. So it'll last me a while. And then next I got 3 of my favorite cottage cheese. I've been eating this a lot with fresh fruit in the morning. So I got 3 of those. And then I also picked up just 1 of these sour cream. We have quite a bit left in the fridge, so I only needed to get 1 this month. Oh, the other thing with this cottage cheese, the reason I got this is because I have been seeing a lot of recipes on Facebook and Instagram where they actually have been making like almost like a bread with it, like a wrap. Also, the other really fun thing that I got, well, I didn't get it. Steven bought it for me. He got me one of these Ninja Creamies. Oh my goodness. I am having so much fun making little ice cream creations with it. And a lot of these recipes I've been finding on like my Facebook groups and stuff for like the Ninja Creamy, they use cottage cheese in it as like a thickener. I think that's what they're using it in. Anyways, so I got some of those cottage cheese, not just because I like to eat cottage cheese, but also because I want to experiment with some of these Ninja Creamy recipes. I made a lemon sorbet. Oh my goodness, it was heaven. Heaven. It was so delicious. Maybe once I kind of get more comfortable with the machine, I'll do a video and show you guys some really fun recipes with it, but I am just having a lot of fun experimenting with it right now. The next thing I picked up was a box of this brown gravy mix. It's just this. And I just got a case of it because it's cheaper that way, and plus I like to just have it on hand when I need it. And then I picked up some of this Earl Grey tea. I really like Earl Grey. My daughter is also, again, coming home from school this summer, and this is her favorite tea. So I picked up 3 boxes of it. Cheaper when you get more than 1. And then I'm experimenting this month, and I'm going to try these. I've heard really good things about these. This is a breakfast sling sausage, so you just get 8 in a package. And then I got 3 of them. I really, really hope that these are delicious because I have been trying to find a really good breakfast sausage, and I refuse to buy certain ones at the grocery store. So I'm going to give these a try. I have them in my cart for next month also. If I don't really like them, then I'll take them out, but I can't see why I wouldn't like it. And then I got 3 of these caramelized coconut toppings. So I have ordered these in the past. I've ordered these one other time. They are not my super, super, super favorite. They do have a different taste to them. I think when I opened the can and I looked at the texture and I was like, it's going to be like a caramel sauce because it says caramel on it. But it's not like your typical brown sugar butter caramel. It's definitely has a coconut taste to it, but I have actually kind of grown to like it a little bit. And right now I don't have the energy to make myself caramel sauce, and I really love dipping apples in caramel. So what I've been doing is just using this right now, and I'm honestly kind of getting used to it. And I don't want to get, like regular caramel sauce from the store because it's full of other junk. But this is just me kind of getting it as a convenience thing because I'm not making my own caramel sauce right now and I'm not buying it at the grocery store. So this is what I'm having right now just to kind of dip my apples in as like a little sweet treat. And it's actually pretty good. So this is another new thing that I got this month. It is a 1-gallon jug of frozen cherry juice. I seen it online and thought that looks really interesting. So last year I canned up some Monocero, I'm not saying it right. I canned up some cherries. I took the leftover syrup when I made those cherries and made a drink with it, and it was really, really good. I added some club soda to it, and it was almost like a Dr. Pepper in a way. So I thought what I was gonna do, now this cherry juice is just regular straight up cherries. With this, I want to experiment and kind of make, with my Ninja Creamy, I want to see if I can do kind of like a cherry sorbet in a way, because you use, like to make the lemon sorbet, you use lemon juice. So I thought I would use this cherry juice and see if I can make like a lemon, or not a lemon, see if I could make like a cherry ice cream with it. So I'm going to experiment a little with that. I do like cherry juice in general, so I might dilute it because the reviews on it said that it's pretty thick and it's pretty concentrated. So I'm probably going to end up diluting a little bit. I'm also going to wait until a little bit more of this thaws out. I'm not going to store the full 1 gallon in my fridge because honestly, I'm not going to drink it that fast. So I might just pour a little bit out of it and then just throw it back into my freezer. Now, I am a tea drinker, but Steven is not a tea drinker. So I'm going to experiment with this coffee. I've never tried this brand name before, but I got him some of this. He likes the dark roast, so I decided to get him this kind. We'll see how he likes it. And then I got 3 of these Dijon mustards. They were on sale this month, so again, get a discount with more than 1. I like to have these on hand for making like dressing and marinades. The other fun thing that I got was this body oil spray. I think the chemo is kind of making my skin a little bit more drier than normal. So I decided to pick this up and see if it kind of adds a little bit of moisture back to my skin. I've been loving this particular brand name, this Desert Essential. I have the coconut hand and body lotion and I love it. I put it on when I get out of the shower, but what I've heard is to apply oil first when you get out of the shower and then put on lotion, and apparently it makes your skin like silky smooth. So I picked this up. I'm gonna see if that kind of helps rehydrate my skin a little bit. And the other body product that I picked up this month was some more of this soap. This one is called Oregon Berry, and it's apparently got black tea in it. Looks like that. So I like this brand name of soap. I use other flavors or scents from them, and I really, really like it. Let's see how it smells. Ooh, it smells delicious. I was worried I actually wasn't going to get it because right before it shipped, it was telling me that it was out of stock, but then it came back in stock. That's one thing too, that when you're ordering from Azure, if something says it's out of stock, leave it in your cart. I mean, see if you can find another alternative to it, but I have just left things in my cart and they ended up shipping anyways. So yeah, just a little tip there, just leave it in your cart and it may end up shipping. I decided to get a full box of it because it is cheaper when you get the box. So I just like having the box because it lasts me pretty long time, and I like being stocked up on it just in case it runs out of stock. And then the very last thing that I picked up was a, what is it? Took my glasses off, now I can't see. 1 pound bag of goji berries. These are dried goji berries. This is going to be my snack. I love dried goji berries. They're such a tart, nice snack. I actually planted a goji plant this year, but it takes, I think it said 5 years for it to kind of really start to grow anything on it. It's just like a little baby plant right now. I'll show you when we go outside. Let's see if we can get out there before it really starts to pour. It might pour on us. Oh, we also have some fun things in the garage. We had our meat birds come in this week, last week they came in. So these are 30 meat birds. We'd actually lost one already. It drowned somehow in the water. I don't know. We were outside cleaning up and Steven came in and he's like, there's a bird that drowned. So yeah, they're really skittish. Let's see if I can grab one here. Here they are. So we got 30 of them. These will be our meat birds for this year. And then these are the little babies we hatched out. Let's see if I can get one. Look at her. It's a her. I'm going to say it's a her because I really don't want it to be a rooster. But these guys are actually, I think they're 2.5 weeks old now. So they hatched out a while ago. So many little cute ones in there. Like I said, it has been a while since I've given you guys kind of an update on everything going on around here. Oh, it's kind of really raining out here. We might have to wait to do the garden update until the rain stops. But there is one thing in the shop that I want to show you. Those are the clouds. We honestly don't need any more rain. That was one of the updates that I was going to tell you guys. Let's actually get into the shop first. Okay. Whew. I'll do a quick update in here because you probably won't be able to hear me because it gets pretty loud in here with this tin roof. But look at all of this garlic we harvested. Now I have been slowly harvesting it for the last little while. Some of them are more drier than other ones, but the size of these bulbs, look at this, amazing. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy with how that garlic turned out. Oh, I better get inside because it's getting a little bit, it's getting pretty windy. So over these storms. So one of the updates that I was actually going to tell you was last Sunday we had a lot of tornado warnings and we were kind of watching the radar on Sunday night and it seemed like nothing was going to hit us, and then all of a sudden it came in, and it came in really, really quickly. It really wreaked havoc on our property. If you follow me on Instagram, you kind of already seen the update. It ripped our poor willow tree out of the ground. See if I can open the door and show you. Oh, it's hard to see, but there used to be a big willow tree that used to stand there. It's gone now. It ripped it right out of the ground. Once it stops raining, I'll show you guys. It took down 3 trees. Our turkey coop is about 10 feet up in the trees right now. We haven't even attempted to try to get it down. I was going to order turkeys earlier and I decided to hold off with everything going on medically with me right now. I knew like I couldn't handle all of these different animals. And then when I decided, oh, maybe I'm gonna order them early, they weren't available for shipping. So we would have had turkeys out there had the Lord not prevented us from getting them. And thankfully, there was no animals harmed at all. The way the willow tree dropped, it completely missed our chicken coop. So our chickens are perfectly fine out there. We did lose power for about a day while everything was trying to kind of get back. And we had our little baby chicks that had just hatched. So I was bringing them upstairs with us into our room. Like I had a little plastic tote because we didn't have any heat, like a heat lamp for them. So I was bringing them upstairs because the heat rises in the house. So I was hoping that that was the warmest part of the house. So that particular night, we actually slept with the baby chicks up in our room because I didn't want them to get cold in the garage. So we've just been kind of doing like cleanup the last week, trying to get all of that storm damage cleaned up. You know, I just woke up that morning and there was so much gratitude in my heart just looking around outside, and like things were destroyed outside. We lost a little bit of siding on our house. Our roof got a little damaged also, but I was alive. Stephen was alive. We were not hurt. We did not lose the structure of our house. We did not lose any animals. And you know what? The Lord must have had his hand over my garden because my garden was untouched. It was ripping willow trees, like huge 10-foot, like I don't even know how high that willow tree is, like maybe 15 feet, ripping these huge ginormous trees out of the ground, taking maple trees out, destroying everything. And my tomato plants didn't lose one leaf. One leaf. Like it was just untouched. I can't believe it. Like when the Lord says he is going to provide for you, no joke, he will provide for you. He had his hand over us that night, and I am so very thankful. My neighbors lost their garage, like got completely uprooted, gone. It went into the field behind their house. All of our neighbors are completely fine. Nobody was hurt. So it's just, we experienced, I believe, like he had his hand over us. So yes, we have a lot of destruction and a lot of cleanup, but like I said, we're alive. Everyone else around us is alive. So God is good. And I am so very thankful for the protection that he had on us. So I'm going to get this Azure stuff put away, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, the rain will stop for a little bit. You know what? It actually was not raining for my Azure pickup, so that was really nice. So while I get this stuff put away, what I'll do is I will insert those clips of me making the garlic scapes and showing you guys how I made them. Again, I've not tested them out, so I don't know exactly how they taste. I don't know. Hopefully they're not too strong. The recipe that I seen, I wasn't 100% sold on it, but we'll see. So anyways, I really just sold that to you guys. Like, now you really want to make them. But I will insert the clip here and show you guys how I make them. Plus, I'm going to insert the clip on how I make that delicious bread. So I'm going to put this Azure stuff away, and I will be back once I get everything put away and once the rain stops. And then I can go out and show you the garden because so much has changed. I'm so excited to show you guys. We are going to get started making these pickled garlic scapes. So these are what my garlic scapes look like. I didn't have a lot because I grew a couple of different varieties. I grew a hardneck variety, which throws off garlic scapes, and I also grew quite a bit of softneck, which you actually don't get garlic scapes from. So those are what I had at this particular time. I did end up actually getting another kind of bundle this size about a week later. So what I want to do to get started is I'm just going to get those garlic scapes good and just rinse off just in case there's any like debris on it or anything like that. So I'm getting them cleaned off. For this recipe, I am going to be using my electric canner. I love this thing for being able just to kind of do really quick small batches. This time of year, I think it really is going to come in handy because I'm only doing really small batches at a time right now anyways. So I'm loving that. We're gonna can these in 1/2 pint jars. Because I've never canned these before, I'm not super comfortable with making like a huge batch of them. Plus I didn't really have a lot of the scapes to begin with, so we're just gonna do them in 1/2 pint jars. I realized after I cut all of these scapes up that I could have just taken the scapes and just used them as whole and just turned them around, like wrap them in a little bundle and put them into the jars. But anyways, I cut them up into the shapes to fit the jars. Now this was one of the garlic seed heads. It has definitely gone way too long. Like once it goes to that point, what happens is the garlic bulb actually stops growing and it puts all of its energy into making that seed. So you really want to get them before it actually gets to that point. So we're going to get the brine made now. I ended up doubling this recipe, but I have left the original recipe linked below for you guys, just if you want to use it, it's linked there below. So you're going to use 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and then what I chose to do, instead of adding all of these little components, I just chose to use a pickling seasoning, and I used 2 tablespoons of that, and then you want to use 2 tablespoons of a canning salt. So you're going to put that all into a large stock pot or a medium stock pot, doesn't really matter, and then you're just going to bring that to a boil and then lightly boil that until everything is nice and dissolved, and then you're going to take it off of the heat. So I had a whole bunch of asparagus in the fridge also, and we've honestly been burnt out from asparagus because we were just eating it so much as it was coming out of the garden. And I wanted to find another way other than freezing it to preserve it. So I had a whole bunch of this brine left over because I didn't use as much as I originally thought I was going to need. So I decided to cut up some asparagus and I was going to pickle them in the same brine that I made the garlic scapes with. Once you get everything nice and tight in those jars, you are going to add the brine over top and leave a 1/4 inch of head space. And then you're going to come and just kind of debubble it. Now, one thing, because I used that homemade pickling seasoning that I made, it had a whole bunch of really big pieces of, I believe they were allspice, and I did not want that to kind of take over the pickling flavor, so I ended up picking out a whole bunch of those allspice berries just because it was just too much for me. So that's what you see me kind of just picking out there, was just getting those out of there. So I'm just debubbling it. I'm wiping the rims with a little bit of white vinegar just to make sure there's nothing sticky on the top. And then if you like a little heat, you're going to come along and just add a little bit of red pepper flakes. Now, I didn't add it to every single one just because, again, I'm experimenting with this recipe. So I only added it to 1 asparagus and 1 garlic scapes. Then you're going to add your clean lids and rings and just tighten them fingertip tight and put them into a water bath canner for 10 minutes. Now, the top of the garlic scapes, you can still use them. What I did is I just put them in a little baggie and put them in my freezer, and then that way I can use them in like different soups and stuff. They almost have like a green onion texture to them with a little bit of garlic taste. So I just saved those and put them in the freezer, and here are the jars all done. I am really excited to try this. The recipe does suggest to wait at least 2 weeks before you attempt to have it, just so that it gives it time to kind of do its thing, but I'm really excited about them. Hopefully they turn out okay. Next up, we're going to get started with this bread recipe. I'm so excited to share this recipe with you guys. I've wanted to share it for a while and just keep forgetting to film it. So this time I finally remembered. So to get started, we are going to get our yeast blooming. So you're going to add 1/2 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of an active dry yeast, and 2 tablespoons of sugar or honey. So I used honey in this, and you just want to whisk it, and you just want to let that sit for approximately 3 to 4 minutes until it gets nice and foamy. So in a large bowl, you are going to take 2 cups of warm water, 2 tablespoons of a melted butter. I just used a salted butter, but you can use salted or unsalted, doesn't matter. It doesn't actually specify in this recipe. And then 2 teaspoons of a salt. And then you want to just whisk that together, and then you're going to add in that yeast mixture, and then again whisk it together again. And then I'm choosing to do this in my stand mixer just because it takes a long time to mix, so my arms aren't strong enough to do that. So we're going to transfer everything to the stand mixer, and we're going to add 6 to 7 cups of an all-purpose flour. It says start with 6 cups and then kind of go from there. And then you are going to mix this until everything is good and combined. If the dough is way too sticky, add more flour. and then just kind of watch it from there. You want it to be like kind of sticky, but not really. And then what you're going to do after it's all mixed and combined, you are going to grease a large bowl and then just put this into the bowl, cover it with a tea towel, and let it rise for about 30 to 60 minutes in a warm place. It all depends on how warm your house is to how long it's actually going to take to rise. Once that dough has doubled in size, you just want to punch it down and then take it out, and you're going to divide that dough in half. What you want to do is take each section of that dough and you just want to roll it on a nice lightly floured surface. I forgot to put flour down for this very first one. And you want to shape the dough to be about 10 inches long, rectangle shape. And then it says using clean hands, which you should be using clean hands anyways when making food. Roll the dough up, starting at the long edge, and just kind of roll it all the way down, and then just kind of pinch the sides together and then put it onto a greased cookie sheet. This makes 2 humongous loaves of bread. Once you get them put onto the cookie sheet, you're just going to take a really sharp knife and just put little slits all the way down the bread. And then you want to cover it up again with a tea towel and let this rise again for approximately 1 hour or until the loaves have doubled in size. You'll see that I actually let mine rise a little bit too long. So you're going to preheat your oven to 425 degrees during the last 15 minutes of the rising time. While we're waiting for the oven to preheat, we are going to make an egg wash. So you're going to take 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of milk and just beat that together and then lightly coat the bread with that. So once everything's ready to go, you're going to put the bread in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes depending on your oven. And this is what the bread looks like. It is, again, I can't tell you how delicious it is. And it just comes together pretty quickly for a bread, but it's amazing. All right, the rain has stopped. Let's go on a muddy adventure. So this is what's left of our willow tree. It's hard to show you guys on video how actually big it was. This is the tree. It was completely uprooted out of the ground. See if I could stand by it and show you, but it's taller than I am, and I'm almost 6 foot. So it's huge, just completely ripped out of the ground. And I'm wondering if maybe I should have my sunglasses on out here. Yeah, so it split right in half. I mean, this tree was already almost dying, but it's now really dead. So this is our 3rd trailer load full of brush. Because a lot of people were affected by this particular storm, our city actually has a leaf drop or a brush drop right now going on. So you can take all of your brush there and drop it off. So that's going to be our 3rd one. But look at my tomatoes. This, I just don't understand how, look at them. They were completely untouched by all of this storm. So we have 3 rows. I've been coming out and just kind of picking the flowers off of them because they're still not as big as I would want them to be to start producing anything. And I've also been picking off the leaves off the bottom of them because, as you can see here, they're already starting, hopefully you can see it, they're already starting to kind of get a little bit of blight on them because rain. Just water everywhere. So right here we have some cannelloni beans. So this whole row is mosquito. One thing that is really, really bad right now because of the amount of rain that we've been getting and just kind of all of the sitting water is the mosquitoes are really, really bad right now. So it's just got to get rid of some of the sitting water to kind of get rid of the mosquitoes. Anyways, this is cannelloni beans here, and this row right here is all edamame. Now I have come in and put where there's empty spots, I've come in and filled it with some more cannelloni beans, and they're starting to come up right now. And I did the same thing with my edamame. Where there was empty spots, I filled it with some more beans. The other thing that I've been doing is wood chips. I've been coming in and putting kind of wood chips in my rows. Next year, I think what I'm going to do is instead of using this wheat fabric, I'm gonna make hills and wood chip in the aisles and see if that makes any difference to my garden. One of my friends, she's been gardening for years and years, like over 20 years, and she does that practice. And her garden, I went to go and visit her, and her garden was just like, I was drooling. Can you drool at a garden? Like I was so inspired by looking at her garden. And she had the exact same type of soil as me. She lives in the next town over, in Portland, Tennessee. And she had clay soil and just years and years of amending with wood chips and hilling and rotating the crops. Her garden is just amazing. Like it was so inspiring to me, and I was like, I got to get rid of this weed fabric. It serves its purpose this year for me because I can't be out here doing too much weeding right now, but next year I'm just going to be really trying to do the wood chip, and just every year my garden will get better and better and better. Okay, let's go over and look at the turkey coop. So this is where the turkey coop is. We have to fix it because it's actually leaning up against the chicken run right now, and wild birds are getting into the chicken run, which I don't want. I want to kind of keep them protected because wild birds means hawks. So it's hard to show you guys. Again, the camera doesn't really pick it up, but that's, I don't know, it's up there in the tree. But this is the turkey coop. And again, praise the Lord, there was no animals in here because there would not be animals anymore. Can't really figure out how we're gonna get this down yet, because it is so high up there. We're thinking that we're gonna try to use the tractor here. We're gonna try to attach the bucket and just kind of pull it down, but I don't know. The other thing I really have to fix is the chicken run, because look at how much sitting water. It's mud. So much mud in there for them, which is not good. We have such bad pressure from predators here. Like hawks are really, really bad here. I unfortunately cannot let my chickens free run. I wish I could. I would lose at least 5 chickens a day if I let them just free range. But I'm really wanting to see if we can kind of get a mobile coop. I have a mobile coop for our meat birds, but I just don't have one for our laying hens. And I'm told Steven, I'm like, can we try to see what we have that we can build one for our hens, just to kind of get them out here and get them like so much area that we can move them around. Look at, we have a little baby zinnia that came up. It's starting to die. It came up a while ago, but I just kind of put zinnias everywhere back here. This is tomatillo that is really begging to flower, and I keep pulling the flowers off because I just don't feel like that plant's big enough. I have 2 tomatillos beside each other because you need to have 2 tomatillos to kind of cross-pollinate each other. If you have 1 tomatillo, you probably won't get anything off of it. You need to make sure you have 2 of them. Here's another zinnia. They're just little baby zinnias. I think that variety of zinnia was called gift basket zinnia. I think so. They're just little zinnias. I just plant flowers everywhere in my garden because I'm really trying to promote the pollinators to come in here and just visit all of my stuff. So I just have flowers just sprinkled everywhere. So this is our little arch trellis way, and it soon, hopefully next month, will be covered in delicious melons. And then these guys right here are all my watermelon and pumpkins. I went and again purchased these starts from the Amish because mine the stuff that I had in here just all died because this was at least a foot underwater. So I had to restart again. Hopefully I'll get something this year. Got some orangello seeds put down. And then, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get pumpkins this year because this was one of the original ones I started, and like you can just see it's not going to do anything. Like that's trying to flower already. So I'll probably end up pulling that one out and putting a seed in. And then these are winter luxury. And then I have spaghetti squash and then butternut squash over there. And nothing's germinated yet. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm hoping the birds didn't get to it. And then these right here are some beans. So you can see that I had to make some hills because of what happens with the water. Like this is just sitting water. Yeah, it is what it is back here. So I have a couple of dry beans in here. I have some green beans. These ones I got from M.I. Gardner. They're called this. They're supposed to be like an alternative to a pinto bean. You dry them on the plant and then you would just have them like you would use it at pinto bean. So I'm excited to see that. You know what I realized? Every time I'm out here showing you guys my garden, it's raining or it has rained. That is the theme so far of this spring, is just rain, rain, rain. So like I was explaining earlier, this is our mobile chicken tractor. This is the one we use for our meat birds. So I'm just getting it ready for them because they're probably going to go outside in a couple of weeks. Look at that. And then this little trough here goes in the middle and it just kind of dangles in the middle. And it's easy to move. I move them once a day. I do put an electric fence around them because we do have pretty bad coyotes here. And we usually run the chicken tractor like in this part of the yard so we can hear it from our bedroom. Like if the coyotes come in, we can kind of be like aware of it, but it's just added protection. I like to have that on there. Okay, let's go into the side garden. These are the goji berries that I was talking about. I don't know how well they're going to do because they're kind of getting eaten by these gnats. So I need to get out here if it stops raining and just kind of spray them with, like, I have this natural kind of gnat killer. So I'll spray these two plants, but these two ones right here are my goji. Pulled most of my broccoli because it was all going to seed because it's just so warm here. And then that's cauliflower. I'm kind of saying if I get anything, I get anything, but it's just, like, you kind of see it in there, a little cauliflower head, but just getting eaten by cabbage moths. I can't stay ahead of them right now. And then my cabbages, they're starting to get pretty big. Like this one's looking pretty good. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to harvest these soon because otherwise, like, look at this. It's just gonna get, it's gonna get eaten. And then, ooh, this guy needs to get picked. It's a kohlrabi. I'm going to have to come out probably tomorrow morning and pick these. I don't really want to pick them right now. I like to pick most of my stuff in the morning or like right before dusk, preferably in the morning. So I'll just come out and grab that tomorrow morning. Look at my zucchinis coming up. These ones are a black beauty zucchini, so just like a regular plain zucchini. I'm happy with whatever we get. That's going to be kind of my my mentality this year, is whatever we harvest, I'm just going to be grateful for what we did get because we could have gotten nothing. And this bed is probably one of the beds that I'm most proud about this year. This is celery. Look at this celery. It's amazing. So this year I decided to do an experiment. I decided to plant a new variety of celery that I've never done before, and I've heard really, really good reviews about. It's called this. This is the new variety this year. Normally I plant Utah tall, I think that's what it's called. Normally I plant that variety and I have had zero success the last 3 years attempting to grow it. So yeah, I've had no good luck with it. And I thought I'm going to try a different variety and just see maybe if it's me that doesn't really know what I'm doing, or if it's the variety that just does not like the climate here. So I put this variety in here and it is doing amazing. So anyways, I did an experiment and I planted the new variety right here, and right beside it I planted a Utah tall celery. Look at the Utah tall, like how spindly and woody it is compared to this variety. This is the new variety, like completely different. That's one thing with gardening, is you really have to find out what does well in your area. Just because somebody you're watching just raves about this particular kind, it may not do well in your area at all. So definitely play around with varieties. Don't dismiss it just because it doesn't grow well for you a couple of times. Try something different. It may end up working for you. Oh, we have some new babies over here. I'm so excited. I planted this zucchini a couple of days ago and it's all coming up. So this is a lemon squash, so like a yellow zucchini, and then that one back there is Italian striped zucchini. And it's starting to all come up. You see them right there? Oh, yay! I've been getting very, very jealous of everybody posting all of their zucchini that they have. I don't even have like things come up. But again, I waited until I pulled my garlic before I put those in because I just didn't have space for them. So they're starting to come up. I will be drowning and giving zucchini away very, very soon, and it makes me excited. I love to have zucchini on the barbecue, like grilled. Oh, with a little bit of salt and pepper and some smoked paprika and garlic. It's just so delicious. I just love it. Everything that I can grow myself is one less thing that I don't have to buy at the grocery store, one less thing that I don't have to be dependent on somebody else for. It's one more thing that I can have just fresh picked, and I'm just so excited about it. So that's kind of an update on everything going on in the homestead. I mean, there's a lot of other things growing, but honestly, we would be here for hours and hours and hours of me showing you, and I am getting eaten alive by mosquitoes right now, and it's slightly driving me crazy, and it's very humid out here because it just rained. So we're gonna go inside. Hey guys, I am back. I completely forgot to say goodbye yesterday. I got inside after kind of showing you guys everything outside, and I was exhausted, like I was overheating, I think, and I completely forgot to say goodbye. So I just wanted to come back and say thank you so much for watching the video. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that tomorrow I have my very last treatment, and then hopefully I will be in the clear. So I'm probably gonna have another couple weeks of just kind of some downtime, just kind of trying to recuperate from it, but hopefully after that I will get back to getting you guys some regular content because I honestly miss filming. I realized yesterday when I was out just showing you all the updates, like I really do miss this. I really miss being able to keep you guys in the loop, kind of let you know what's going on, and plus I just love interacting with you guys on the comments. So hopefully soon we will be back to some regular every week content. In the meantime, here was an update of kind of what's going on. Again, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.